Hi, this is Dr. Pietro Aparicio from 72 Dragons Health. I'd like to share with you an article I read. The article was published by Politico Europe. Politico is a global non-partisan politics and policy news organization. The name of the article is 19 Coronavirus Heroes. Meat bakers, tattoo artists, and 3D printers working to support their communities through the pandemic. Communities. We all are part of a community. It's just part of our human nature. When I talk about communities, I always talked about public health, because public health, it's about community and it's about community collaboration. In public health, every member of the community has a role, and every role is important. And they all are an important key to make sure that the community stays healthy. In this article, they mention 19 different groups in the community who have been very supported all through this pandemic, but there are more. So let me mention this 19 from the article. The first one is letter writers. There's an example they mention about an anonymous doctor in Madrid from Princesa Hospital. He asked Spaniards to write letters of support to the patients at the hospital, to provide encouragement to the patients. And to their surprise, the first week they received about 30,000 letters. That shows us that there's a lot of compassion among our community members. Number 2, chef. We hear many different examples in different countries and different cities where chefs have come out to use their talent to feed people in need and to feed the hospital workers, to provide their support in the way they know how to do it. Cleaners. Cleaners are actually the key people in infection control. They are the ones that keep the facilities, hospitals, equipment, furniture in good shape and completely disinfected. It's not just about sweeping or mopping the floors. There is a process to make sure that the facility and the equipment are properly cleaned. So that requires knowledge and that requires skills. And they are really the key to keep infection control in place. Artists. Many artists have shown their support by helping children and families to use art while they're home, to be entertained and to stay centered and to enjoy it every day, even though they're not able to go out as they used to. Cashiers. They are at the supermarket, they are at many stores. People are able to go out and get food and purchase basic stuff that they need for their home. And the cashiers are there every day exposing themselves to the virus. They are a very important part too in our community. Children with their creativity and their optimism, they provide that energy to their families and their communities. By showing their art, their drawings, their painting, their dancing, their music. Musicians all over the world, you see it on social media, playing instruments, singing. They provide a moment of entertainment, a moment of relaxation that all of us need as we go through the pandemic. And the pandemic has been the source of a lot of anxiety for many of us, of all of us. So music is really a type of medicine that comes very handy, and it's really nice that they're able to do that and share their talents. Technicians, keeping the digital world moving. We are working remotely, most of us, everywhere in the world. Without the technology available, that would have been very difficult. And without the technicians making sure that those technologies are working, it would be very difficult to do our work. So they really also have an important role during this pandemic. Bakers. In France, the French were very pleased to know that about 30,000 French bakeries were allowed to remain open. We can't miss that delicious French baguette. So they also are part of keeping the community going. Manufacturers. There was a scarcity of hand sanitizers. Everybody wanted hand sanitizer and they were not available. But factories, companies, individuals and groups found a way to produce enough hand sanitizers. Some countries and some cities are still struggling, but at the beginning, the whole world was struggling to get hand sanitizer. Now it's a little bit easier for some cities and countries. Seamstresses, now face masks are just part of our daily routine clothing. And some of them are actually very fashionable. And they are key in maintaining us healthy or in maintaining those who are sick from infecting others who are healthy. So masks really play an important role. And some of them are actually very pretty and very nice done. Booksellers, they're also doing their job and making sure the books get to the hands of the children and the families, either online or by delivery. The garbage collectors, very important in infection control too. Hospitals, clinics, health facilities had to get rid of that garbage to make sure that those places stayed clean and disinfected. Families that are staying home need to get rid of the garbage, and the garbage collectors do that job. The neighbors who are around, many of them very kind, who are available to provide help and support to other neighbors who are not able to cook by themselves or not able to do things at the home. So there are always those compassionate neighbors who are willing to help. The 3D printers and other companies and factories, there was a big problem with ventilators. The number of people who needed a ventilator because they were very sick did not match the number of ventilators available. And that was a huge crisis at every hospital all over the world. That has improved a bit, but still is a problem. And many countries are still struggling with having enough ventilators. To an extent, it's been very helpful that the 3D printers and other companies and factories have helped. So it has helped to decrease the need. Still, there's a need, especially in some developing countries. Prepayers, these are companies or individuals who have come with ideas such as buying vouchers that people can redeem after things calm down, and at the same time provide money and the income for those restaurants or entertainment businesses or other type of businesses that are struggling because they're basically out of work during the pandemic. Dog walkers, again, very important. A lot of people are not able to take their dogs out because they're elderly or because they're unable, they're sick, handicaps, and they're just not able to take their dogs out. So there's those friendly neighbors and friends who come and offer to be the dog walkers. Philanthropic landlords. An example is the Portuguese operator of Airbnb. Some of them offer their homes for healthcare workers who needed a place to stay because they cannot stay with their families. Hotels and other places also offer their facilities for healthcare workers who cannot go back home because they're afraid to infect their families. Also, last but not least, robots. They also are part of a community now, and they're helping. The Blue Ocean Robotics, they are being displayed in places, provinces in China. So these 19 groups of individuals have been tremendously helpful in keeping the community healthy and helping the community stay afloat. There are many others who are also not listed here, but who are also very important. All these are community members. Every community member has a role, and every role is important. Thank you.